Hey y'all, it's Trista. I wanted to show you another fun way to make these lantern tile ornaments for the holidays. Again, it's a super easy craft. If you've checked out my other videos, this is just one more way that you can decoupage these Home Depot tiles. These are actually from Home Depot. You can find them at Lowe's or any kind of tile shop. They come attached on a large sheet, usually several, maybe a dozen to 18 on one sheet. So you just pull it off of the netting, and you might want to clean it with some rubbing alcohol just to make sure there's no leftover residue on it. But I'm going to show you two different ways that you can decoupage these tiles. One is with tissue paper and one is with a beautiful napkin. Okay, so you just take your tiles and pick out your whatever you're going to do. We're going to start with napkins. Okay, so these were like $2.99 at Home Goods, so super inexpensive. Thing to remember with these is a lot of times they are 2-ply, so you want to peel off, separate those two layers, and just peel off the colored layer. You don't need that plain layer that's on there. So cut your napkin to size, make it a little bit larger than the ornament that you're going to need, and just make sure that the pattern is going to show up where you want it on the ornament. Then you're going to get some Mod Podge, and this is inexpensive. You can get it at any craft store, Amazon or whatever. You can see I use a ton of this stuff. Sorry for my nail. So make sure you put maybe a paper towel underneath whatever you're working on, so you, in case you are a little bit messy with the Mod Podge, you can get this anywhere. It'll just rinse off, but regardless, you want to make sure that you've got your surface covered. Plan out where you want your design to show up on your ornament, and then just lay it gently on top of that light layer of Mod Podge that you've put on top of your tile. Smooth out any bubbles or wrinkles that you might have on there. Get a little bit more Mod Podge, and don't get too heavy-handed with this because you don't want to oversaturate it to where the napkin actually rips and tears. But then go over it lightly again with your Mod Podge and a nice brush. And remember, it will show some of your brush strokes, so you may want to use a foam brush instead of a hairbrush like I'm using in this spot. Go ahead and kind of tuck in on the sides so that you can get that design to wrap up fully around the ornament. Okay, here it is after it's dried overnight. As you can see, it's stuck a little bit to the paper towel, so I'd much rather it stick to that than my self-healing mat that I had underneath. All right, so now you've got some excess napkin around your tile. You want to go ahead and just gently tear that bit off because you don't need that. If you did that when it was still wet, you run the risk of tearing the napkin further up on the design. So I really wait until my ornament is completely dry. And then you see you've got some edges that are sticking out here. So just go ahead and take a pair of nice sharp scissors with a fine tip on them and just go around and give it a little haircut on the sides. You'll be fine. And then just smooth it over with your fingernail at the end. And if it's still sticking up a little bit, we can fix that here in a minute. But just go ahead and smooth it along the edges and make sure that you've got it the way you want it. Okay, now this is, I used a silhouette, so this is a custom cut that I did with that, but you could get vinyl, or not vinyl, you could get any kind of monogram stickers from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's or wherever, but this is just from vinyl. You could also order them off Etsy if you wanted to, so you can see how I'm just transferring that on with some clear transfer tape. Okay, so once you get it on there, I like to add some ribbon embellishments, a little knotted bow at the top, and then I also will take about 5 inches of a decorative ribbon to make a hook to go on the back, and then I'll put my ornament hook through this ribbon loop that I'm adding there. Now I add that ribbon loop with a strong glue like E6000. You could look at Gorilla Glue. I would use something a little stronger than hot glue. Okay, now an extra step that I do just to make sure that the vinyl letter or sticker sticks to the ornament and doesn't lift off in spots, because the last thing you want it to do is maybe get caught on something when you're packing it up later. So I cover it with one more coat of Mod Podge and let that dry overnight, and then I go ahead and I glue my ribbon to it. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you here, I did try this with some fabric, and because I thought that would be pretty. it doesn't work. The fabric just peels right off and it feels like oilcloth and it's basically useless. So move aside with that. And the next one we're going to show you is with tissue paper. Okay, so this is same technique. You're going to put a light layer of Mod Podge on your lantern tile ornament or lantern tile, and take a piece of tissue that you've cut larger than the ornament, position it so you've got the design exactly where you want it on top of the ornament. Lay it gently on there and spread and smooth it out in case you've got any bubbles or wrinkles or anything like that that you need to sort of work through. The tissue paper is a little bit stronger, so I do like it a little bit better, but as you can see, same type of finish and they're beautiful. So I hope you enjoy. Be sure and subscribe so you can catch all of my videos on lantern tiles.